All right. All right. First of all, I want to say welcome to everyone to this consciousness ascending experience, where our one goal is to support you in accelerating your becoming the person you are free of all that conflicts with your full free expression, with the full free expression of your truth and source. And that means the conditioning and the program. Today's topic is talents forgotten. You are distracted by the external world. We all are distracted and constantly being distracted by the external world. And that's the biggest hurdle, one of the first hurdles that we have to overcome. The structure for these lives is that we will give a short discussion, discourse of the ideas, and then we'll open it up for questions where you're able to put your questions in the chat, any comments, or anything that you want to discuss. And we will spend some time discussing those questions or comments. Um, this is not your first time, you already understand. Please like, if you find any value, find the value, please like, comment. Commenting not only helps to get this information out there, it also inspires others to understanding, and it also helps to solidify that which you are inspired to. It helps to solidify that increased awareness that you're spurred on to more deeply inside of you by taking that subtle action and commenting. So we would greatly appreciate that. If you are new, if this is your first time, or if this is your first time even through watching the recording, if you find value, be sure to subscribe. This is something that we are striving to do on a consistent basis, and you'll get the notifications for when our next lives are. Our next live this week is actually Monday. But we also offer other things that you will come to know. But subscribe if you find value again, like, comment, and begin to develop the core understanding of the truth of you so that not only you align yourself with who you are truly beyond the body, beyond the mind, but also begin to align yourself with that which you intend as life experience. If you look to the description, you will find a couple of things that we have created in support of you. First one being the greatest misconceptions. The greatest misconceptions being those ideas that are greatly misunderstood about this path, this journey of enlightenment that you are on. Would be a great benefit for you to understand what those misconceptions are so that you can make sure you can be clear of those within yourself. Second is the three attention shifts. There are three attention shifts that you have to make in order to not only affect yourself at your core, but to know that you are working at your core when it comes to transformation, when it comes to releasing the ideas that conflict with your intentions and sowing the ideas that more align you. There's three attention shifts that you have to make in order to be sure that you're working at your core. And we made a short presentation on that as well that you will find in the description. All right, so today's topic again is talents forgotten. You are distracted by the external world. Let's get started. Talents forgotten. Absolutely, over times past, history past, long gone, many of your talents are forgotten. But the greatest talent that is forgotten, that is also right in front of you at the moment, is that you are creating. Ah, I thought we were going to talk about your extrasensory perception. We thought we were going to talk about your ability to remote view. We thought we were going to talk about your telepathy and all of these things. And yes, these are worthy of discussion, but not today. You have the talent of creation. And if you understand the talent of creation, if you begin to dig deep into the truth of you beyond the body, beyond the mind, yes, those other ideas we just mentioned will come to the forefront at some point as possibilities, as opportunities for you to enrich your life through the potential of those ideas, remote viewing, extrasensory perception, those type ideas that are potentialities that each one of you will. But first and foremost, it is about your ability to create. And yes, you are distracted. You are distracted by all of the material that's constantly entering into your being through your senses. How can you discover that you are creating right now? How can you discover that this external world is a world of effects and not a world of causes right now? Well, you can do that, which is always and most often described when it comes to the idea of meditation. Be still. You can be still. And as Benny did at one time, get yourself some headphones, the noise canceling headphones, the big, they're not big, but the commercial grade headphones that silence out the noise, and be still. And in those moments, as described in meditation practices where they say, be still, sit still, you're in essence shutting down the senses with no movement, no sound, there's no taste, there's no touch, no smell. We may have left out one, but of your senses, of which you are taking in information from the outside world. When you shut those senses down, you begin to become aware of your awareness. You begin to become aware of the thoughts that are moving through that which you call the mind. And in that stillness, you can become aware of the body. You can become aware that you can be aware of your heartbeat. You can become aware that you can be aware of your pulse. You can become aware that you can be aware that you are breathing without consciously choosing to breathe. So, who is it that is aware that your body is breathing? Who is it that is aware of your thoughts? And when you begin to go deep into your truth inwardly as we are speaking, it begs the question, what comes first? Your external experience or the experiences that you are observing on the inside? It begs the question, which comes first? If you haven't asked that question already. Ever since Benny's out of body experience, he has been guided by a single question: what control and power do I have over my life? What control and power do I have over my life? And you can ask that same question: what control and power do you have in and over your life? And when you ask that question and you're looking outside, you begin to become aware of the fact that interactions they very quickly become history. Travels very quickly become history. Your experience at the stoplight, your experience at the store, the conversation that you had in the kitchen with your child or with your partner, it very quickly becomes history. And so whether that experience was a grand experience or a not so great experience, was the experience the cause of the experience? Is the question. Is any experience that you have in the present moment, was any experience that you had in your history that left you elated or left you angry and frustrated, was it the cause of the experience? And then when you put this question beside the idea of silencing yourself in meditation, shutting down the physical senses so that no material is coming in, and you are becoming more and more aware of the body. You're becoming more and more aware of the movement of the mind. You become more and more aware of your use of your imagination and how you can create experiences. You can view experiences on the screen of your mind that you have never experienced before, but that you would like to. You can establish it on the screen of your mind with as great a detail as you can muster. And if you begin to hold that image, if you begin to hold that experience within the mind and feel the feeling of the experience within the body, one of the things that you begin to notice is that the external world will begin to present you material based on that which you established as an idea with clear imagery, with the expression of the feeling of the experience that you established on the inside, which comes first. The movement of material, the movement of the energies and the material externally to you, or the movement of material internally, meaning your mind and body. And you know where we're going. But the challenge is you have to prove it to yourself. You can't just take our word for it. You can't just take the word of the many individuals that you listen to on your social media. You can't just take the word of it. You can't just take anyone's word for it. You have to prove it to yourself, because our word does not establish you firmly in your own personal power. Your experience, the proof of your experience, is what begins to establish you in your personal power. You have to prove it to yourself that, whoa, wait a minute. That which I am imaging and feeling on the inside, that I am becoming more and more aware of due to my establishing myself in the state of meditation where I am silencing the senses and I am silencing the energies that come in from external to me. I am seeing this process at play, these thought patterns. I am seeing the feelings and the emotions that I am feeling. I'm seeing them, I'm witnessing them. And I understand that these thought patterns are born of dominant ideas, belief systems that have been established that are unconscious to me at the moment. Dare I say subconscious? I could say that. That are not consciously, I'm not consciously aware of these ideas, but I know they're there. Are these the cause of my experience? Or is the experience the cause of the experience? Well, let's see. That which I am holding inwardly, I can experience anytime I want. As a matter of fact, I can remember ideas and I can remember feeling feelings and having thoughts stream and establish yourself in my mind from experiences long gone. I can remember events from my childhood. I can remember events from adolescence. I can remember events from early adulthood. I can remember exciting events and I can remember traumatic events. I can remember events where I felt like individuals did things that I did not deserve or did not like to me. And I'm aware now through my observation that the thoughts of these events appear and cycle through my mind. And they cause me to feel. And as a result, I feel the feelings of those events that happened months ago, years ago. So if this is true, I can see and feel events within my mind and body that happened years ago And this is the past. This experience is not present now. As a matter of fact, the experience lasted about 5 minutes and then it was history. But I can see it in my mind and I can remember how it feels all day long if I allow myself to. I can hold it in the present moment all day long if I allow myself to. If I continue to consider the experience, even though the experience is long in the past. So is an experience the cause of the experience? Or is the experience an effect of a cause? And because I can recreate an experience that is years old within my mind and body, see the imagery with extreme clarity, feel the feeling as if it's happening right now in the present moment. Is it possible? My thoughts born of dominant ideas that I am carrying, and the feelings that I feel, is it possible that these are cause? Is it possible that I have forgotten this talent of creation, even though it's becoming more and more obvious that creation is constantly happening? Is it born of me? Because if it's born of me to a large degree, in large part, that means there is immense power there moving forward if I gain the understanding, if I gain the necessary expanded awareness and understanding of who and what I really am. Then I can begin to utilize these talents. Then I can begin to utilize this potential that has always been within me in the direction of that which I desire, in the direction of experiences that I want to create, that I would like to create, that I have intended to create, that have yet to materialize. But again, and lastly, these are not ideas and concepts for you to just believe in order to truly begin to establish yourself in that power, in order to begin to establish yourself in the truth of you, you have to begin to prove these ideas to yourself through your own experience. This is critical, for this is what begins to stack the truth, stack the ideas inside of you. And we suggest you start simple. Start simple, start small. The most obvious is to start with ideas or things that you have never experienced before, created before, things that are not right now a part of your daily experience, so that you can identify because of its newness. I've never considered anything like this before. I've never had anything related to it in my experience before. Matter of fact, I really don't like it. But as I begin to play with these ideas, it will be obvious when information begins to appear in my experience based on this new idea. It will be obvious when this actually materializes as an experience because it's something that's not a part of my reality at the moment. And the more you do that, the more you will be stacking the belief in these ideas, stacking the belief in your truth. And the more you stack experiences that you know that you influenced, that you know you established them, you put them in motion, the greater your awareness expands, the greater your strength becomes, the greater your resolve becomes. And as all of that increases and you begin to establish and begin to play with those intentions that are directly effective of your life, you have built the idea and the truth that you are creating. You have built the idea and the truth and understanding of the inner creative process. You have built the idea and the understanding and the truth of how the process operates so that when you point it toward abundance, so when you point it toward health and well being, when you point it toward improved relationship, you have solidified, you have anchored yourself in understanding, you have anchored yourself in the truth of it because you have proven it to yourself with ideas and intentions that, from your perspective, were small. From your perspective, didn't really matter. But it doesn't matter whether you feel something is big or small, matters or doesn't matter. If you engage an idea with the inner creative process, it begins to become a thing. And this lends to the reason why it seems like, for those of you who have been on this path, it seems like things that you don't really care about happen quickly, and those things that you really, really want seem to happen slowly or haven't happened at all. It's because of the perception of big, small that you place on these ideas. Certain things you're not resisting because you see it as small or it doesn't really matter. But the big things that really, really matter, those are the ones that you're resisting because for a time you have believed in their absence more than their presence. But that's why you have to establish yourself in the creative process so that you understand how it works and you see how it works through your experience so that when you point your intention to that which you desire in your life and you desire to create, that which you have yet to be able to establish as experience, you have that to lean on. That way you can see any discrepancies in your play and practice. I'm trying too hard. I'm expressing the absence of the thing because I'm trying so hard. I have to let it go. I have to relax. I have to be free and let it be just like the thing that I created that I felt didn't really matter. But prove it to yourself through experience. That's the most important part. Take some time. Prove it to yourself through experience. And then begin to point it toward those intentions that are the result of your inspirations, or the true result of your inspirations. That's what we have. That's what we have. We're excited for each of you. We love you. And these are building blocks to the expanding of your awareness, to the situating yourself into the talent that you are creating, the doorway to your true potential, the doorway to the realizing of the truth of you in source that is a creator and that is aligned with all, that is all, which is what you need to know. So we will open this up for comments, questions that you might have. Just place them in the chat. It got bright all of a sudden. It's cloudy and dark, or it has been all day, and then all of a sudden the sun came out. And really, really bright. Mm. Yeah. If you have questions, place them in the chat. If you have been inspired to an idea or a thought, place that in the chat as well. Yes, yes. Thank you, Catherine, for that. It says, I have been practicing being present, but it seems hard because the external world is so distracting. Yes, that's the game. That's the game on this plane of existence that you're on. The external world is extremely distracting. Now, imagine the inner strength that you will have developed and come to, which you have mastered the ability to turn your attention inward. When you have mastered the ability, then we know that you are headed in that direction. When you have mastered the ability of not allowing the information that you're being flooded with from the external world to be the dictator of that which you see and feel internally. That's where each of you are going, whether you're here live or watching this recording. The play and practice that you're engaged in is one in which you are moving to a place of strength where that which you are establishing internally is of the is of a higher priority than the information that is trying to penetrate you from external, from outside. That's where you're going, the level of strength to which your ideas, your intentions, and you're continually getting more and more clear on the imagery of those ideas that you intend to create, that you intend to be guided by. You're excited about the feeling of the feelings of how it feels to have those experiences. Even before that, you're excited to own the feeling of the you that is capable of creating experience. Think about that. Think about the you that exists right now on a plane of existence that has mastered the idea of attention, that has mastered the idea of holding that which is internal to a higher priority than that which is external. How does that feel? Take some time and identify the feeling of the you that has mastered that. And that as that you walks into the store, that you has already established how it's going to go, how it's going to feel in the store. I love being confident. I love being secure. I love being loving. I love being that which sees the highest of experience and expecting it, not of the people, but expecting it of the energies, expecting it of the ethers to materialize it in real time as you are walking into the store, as you are walking into the restaurant, as you are getting to leave for vacation. And that which you have established as an idea and felt within your mind and body is the only possibility, bar a higher experience that may be present for you. Even more beautiful, even more expansive, even more loving, even more exciting. Because you can grow from peak to peak. You don't have to grow necessarily from pain to pain. Most are stuck in a pain and not really growing. They're just constantly in a loop of the pain. But once you change your perception, you can move from pain and suffering into greater strength. But it doesn't have to be pain and suffering and trauma that is the catalyst for that move. You can grow from peak to peak, from success to success, from beautiful to more beauty. It's all an inner thing. It's all an inner thing. And that choice has nothing to do with what is happening outside. We hope that makes sense. Thank you for that, Kathy. Thank you, Janet. Thank you for your comments. Yes, to recreate my beliefs, aligning to my true path and intentions. Yes, that's the game. That's the game. Silencing the outside world. Yes, it's happening. Yes, it's going on. It's doing all of the stuff, right? Even right in your own home. If you're a mother, if you're a spouse or partner, if you have mother or father, brothers and sisters, right in your own home, in your own vicinity, the stuff is happening. But the game, as you become more and more aware that you are creating, as you become more acutely aware to the inner creative processes and the inner creative process within you, and it's the function of each piece, and you begin to play and practice with each piece, the game is to make that the priority versus and over that which is occurring outside of you. Because that is what you have influence over. That is what you have power over. That is what you have control over. Because the worst of experiences immediately becomes the past. And the only place that it's relived and recreated is on the inside, which is the exact same place that you can recreate yourself and recreate your experiences anew. Because the process is the same. The process remains unchanged. It only matters the material that you choose to sow into that process. And you can allow the material of the external world to be sown into that process, or you can take command of the material that is sown into that process. That's the game. Thank you for the comment. Also, anything else? Any other comments? Any other questions? Excellent. So we are thankful and grateful immensely for the opportunity to share, for the opportunity to be of support. We're thankful for each of you who participated, shared your inspirations, shared your questions, allowed us to support you in those ideas. We will be back of this week. We will be back Wednesday for a second live. You can find the information on the YouTube channel, the thumbnail if you haven't seen it with the title. And we look forward to being of support more and more often, granting the opportunity to for you to participate in the experience, get to know us a little better, get to know yourself a little more. For that's the goal, for each of you to know who you are truly and to begin to live and create on your plane of existence from that space now, knowing who you are now, establishing the mind and body that is a reflection of that truth of you, of the truth of you in source. And doing that now as you walk physically and not discovering, rediscovering who you are, remembering who you are after you make your transition. But now, as you walk physically, that's the goal. And our goal, desire, is to accelerate this process of enlightenment for you and with you. Again, we're thankful and excited for each of you, and we will talk to you soon.